KidNuz fans, did you know there's a way to hear the news without hearing ads? Parents and teachers can subscribe to Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts to not only ditch the commercials, but also unlock access to future bonus episodes and other exclusives from the Starglow Media Network. That means ad-free listening of KidNuz every weekday, plus ad-free episodes of Mysteries About True Histories for riddle-obsessed adventurers, Girl Tales for a fun spin on fairy tales, Musicland Stories to help young music lovers catch the beat, and audiobooks adapted for young listeners with classic titles, including Little Women and Moby Dick. Visit starglowmedia.com/subscribe to sign up for Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts or wherever you like to listen. That's starglowmedia.com/subscribe. Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. And we begin with a novel and noisy twist on the annual senior prank. 2 students at Richwood High in Illinois got creative and hired a bagpiper to shadow their principal. For an hour, where the principal went, the kilted musician went, blasting a variety of tunes along the way. Piper Scott Whitman says he gets a fair number of gig requests, but this was definitely a first. But as creative as it was, seniors Maggie Moore and Pierce Hill told the Peoria Journal-News that it was actually Plan B. They'd originally wanted a mariachi band. But because their request date fell close to Cinco de Mayo, demand was high and their prank budget was not. In the end, they said the bagpiper worked out even better. Their principal loved it and gave credit to the students for coming up with something that wasn't destructive to the school, and the custodians didn't have to clean up after. He may be 99 and in hospice care, but former President Jimmy Carter still understands the power of his vote. Last week, Mr. Carter cast a mail-in ballot for Georgia's upcoming primary. His grandson, Jason Carter, told USA Today he's not going to miss an election. It's important to him. That's the person he is. Mr. Carter also still has his sense of humor. In an interview with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Jason recounted a recent conversation where he told the former president, "People ask me every day how you're doing, and I tell them I don't know." Mr. Carter laughed and answered, "I don't know myself." Jason then added he may be immortal. We have not seen any evidence to the contrary. It's happened again. On Sunday morning, a pod of killer whales targeted and tanked a yacht in the Straits of Gibraltar, which is a strip of water between southern Spain and northern Africa. The sailors aren't sure how many orcas ganged up, but the apex predators took turns ramming the boat until it sprung a leak. The crew hitched a ride on a passing tanker shortly before their ship sank to the bottom of the Atlantic. Since 2020, the area has become notorious for these mysterious orca interactions. So much so, those traveling on small boats are advised to steer clear. Some who defy the warnings have even resorted to blasting heavy metal music to ward off the whales, which can grow to 27 feet and weigh 6 tons. Memorial Day weekend is just around the corner, and if forecasters are right, holiday travel will be the highest in nearly 20 years. AAA, the Automobile Association of America, predicts 44 million Americans will hit the road, take to the air, cruise, or ride the rails. That would put 2024 just behind 2005 as the busiest Memorial Day travel weekend since record-keeping began in 2000. The busiest time on the roads, noon to 7 p.m. on the Thursday and Friday before Memorial Day. For air travel, United Airlines points to Thursday for an airport crush. Among the top destinations this year, Florida, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Denver. If you don't know yet, you soon will. Parents are keen on helping their kids get a job. It's a story as old as time itself. Or, to be more exact, it's a story that dates back at least 4,000 years. How do we know? Because 16-year-old Michael Hoffman just translated an ancient Egyptian scroll into English and published it as a book. Be a Scribe tells the tale of Pepe, whose father is intent on getting him work with the royal court. It took the teenager and 2 co-authors 3.5 years to convert the hieroglyphics into a modern-day read. Yale professor Amy Chua says she could not put it down. Kids will love it. And even adults with advanced degrees will find themselves fascinated by an Egyptian father giving life advice to his teenage son, and astonished at how little parenting has changed across the millennia. Still to come, it's an heir and a spare for the nation's most famous groundhog. But first, we want to shout out Sonia and Sophie Labite of Pretoria, Johannesburg, South Africa. Sonia and Sophie, as you travel the world with your parents, they want you to know that your openness, intelligence, passion, and empathy inspire them daily, and they are so very proud. And greetings to Ms. Lire, Ms. Kamara, and Mr. Avishkar from the American International School, Johannesburg, and Mr. Sedmak at QSI, Benin. Now, today's KidNuz quiz. A pod of what type of marine mammal again targeted a boat in the Straits of Gibraltar? Orcas, or killer whales. What prominent politician cast a mail-in ballot for Georgia's upcoming primary? Former President Jimmy Carter. Two pranking high school seniors hired what type of musician to shadow their principal? A bagpiper. If AAA is correct, this could be the busiest Memorial Day weekend of travel since when? 2005. In today's KidNuz kicker, Punxsutawney Phil is a father. About a month after he predicted an early spring, Phil and his S.O. Phyllis welcomed two groundhog babies. A naming contest followed, and the two winners were announced Monday, with typical Gobbler's Knob fanfare. Hear ye, hear ye. Now on this 12th day of May, the news is not about the weather, spring air, or winter's chill. No, today the first family of groundhogs has grown. Punxsutawney Phil and wife Phyllis have two kits of their own. Born to royalty, a boy and a girl. Names have been chosen to share with the world. Welcome with us as we say hello to little girl Sunny and a boy Shadow with pride and joy. When it comes to breaking up the monotony of winter, Phil's popularity is without question, but the same can't be said for his accuracy. Records show that he gets the weather right just 39% of the time. Thanks again to the Labite family of Johannesburg, South Africa for sponsoring today's quiz. And a big shout out to Sonia and Sophie Labite, who love horseback riding, soccer, ballet, and the arts. And hello to our KidNuz classrooms, Mrs. Diarpa and her Hawks at Harding in Kenilworth, New Jersey, Coach Liz and her Wildcats at Santa Fe Unit School in Santa Fe, Tennessee, and Mrs. Dunkel and her Saints at St. Mary's St. Michael School in Clarks Mills, Wisconsin. Thanks for listening. Please check out our website at kidnuz.org for interesting blogs, resources, quizzes, and more. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.